Euro 2024, Group B. Spain 1, Italy 0. You are not hallucinating. I'm about to lavish praise on Spain for the first time in a while. I said on Twitter, this 90 minutes was the best collective performance I have seen this Spanish side play in at least a few years. I think despite the scoreline, it was actually more of an impressive rhythmic display than the 3-0 victory over Croatia last week. There were moments in this game where Spain were hounding Italy. The build-up play was just flowing so nicely, and they looked deadly. Italy were on the back foot. This could have gotten ugly with a lot more finesse and clinical ability up front with in terms of finishing chances. But I actually thought this was a better performance than even the 3-0 win over Croatia. With Spain, Fabian Ruiz was so confident on the ball in midfield, he basically ran the game. Close shout for man of the match as well, but I also really liked Cucurella. I have to give a lot of credit here to Luis de la Fuente, the Spanish manager, calling up Cucurella, giving him this chance. He had a couple of really menacing runs into the box from the left-hand flank. Yamal and Williams were just totally unplayable in 1v1 situations. They were untouchable. Italy had no answer for Nico Williams and Yamal. And Williams, very unlucky not to get a goal in this game. He has an opportunity in the first half through a header. Can't quite get it on target. He has a wonderful curled effort strike that hits the upper right-hand post. And in terms of getting on the score sheet, it was not his night, but he absolutely caused so many problems for Italy in this game. It was ridiculous. The pressing, the creativity, the defense, the passing, everything. Just the finishing was bad. And therein lies the rub of the concern that I have. And I want people to remember this sentence, what I'm about to say. This game showed the best of Spain, i.e. the flashes of the old Spain, as well as the worst of Spain in terms of trying to get over the hump, of finding the back of the net on a consistent basis, breaking teams down, and finishing properly. Remember I said with the Croatia match, that game with Croatia had a lot of Croatian errors in it with that contributed to Spain's win. The finishing in this game was very worrisome because at the end of the day, despite all the possession, despite all the chances, despite utterly dominating, despite the potential for this to have been another 3-0 or a 4-0 victory, despite all of that, it was an own goal by Riccardo Calfiore that decided this game. And because of that, Italy were always still in contention, just by the raw numbers. That is worrisome. Spain has to figure that out. If they can, and if they can continue to play this way, they might be the favorites to win Euro 2024. And I will say, before I move on to Italy, for Spain, we need a Spain-Germany quarterfinal clash. We need that to happen. We need it. I don't care what you're doing that day. Cancel what you're doing. Doctor's appointment. Okay, don't cancel your doctor's appointment. Save time for that. It's going to happen, and that is going to be an excellent game. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but because of the concerns displayed in this match with the finishing, I would still put more faith in Germany to convert opportunities that come their way in that huge powerhouse clash. But anyway, for Italy, really harsh on Calfiore. I thought he had a decent game. Him and Bastoni were quite good. With Donnarumma, Italy's defense was the backbone for their match and the only reason they were still in the game. Kind of a shame offensively. They didn't really get much going forward, but that's a testament to how dominant Spain were in that end of the pitch. Cambiaso was a bit frustrating to watch. Every time there's a chance to make a pass into the final third, he seems like he decides to avoid creating it and passes it back, and it kind of is a bit of a momentum killer in that regard for the Italians. It doesn't look like, to me at least, that Cambiaso has enough confidence in himself to make a decent pass around Cucurella, despite there being considerable space to work with sometimes. The attacks were coming from DiMarco's side, and with good reason, but still, DiMarco's attempts to cross it in were kind of dreadful, and there was a real lack of attacking organization in the box to receive such passes. Going down the middle, I mean, it seemed like it was pretty much Italy's only option at some points in this match, all while playing Spain, basically playing into Spain's tactics and into playing Spain's game, because Spain had players that can press and steal the ball in the middle. It's their forte, basically. Maybe you can question whether Spalletti has to change things for good after this game, switch up, revert away from the 4-3-3. But on the whole, I thought that Italy did not have as poor of a performance as some people are saying. I think that they did well enough to keep themselves in this match all throughout it. It's just that Spain were, by and large, the go-ahead side in this game. I feel like Barella can be somewhat of a liability when he's not focused, and the lack of pace by playing him with Jorginho and Pellegrini plus Frattesi on the wing is not really going to cut it for Italy. I mean, you're just being kind of too slow and predictable, to the point that Cristante offered something different just because he's like more physically dominant. So this should be reviewed. And I feel like Pellegrini, I was not impressed with Pellegrini today. So hopefully for Italy's sake, Spalletti figures it out from here on, and they can see a better showing against Croatia in the last match day. One might also question the fact that there was the decision to leave fullbacks in 1v1 situations with Yamal and Williams, like I said earlier. I just think Italy was thoroughly outclassed when dealing with that duo. Just thoroughly outclassed. But I don't think Italy was as poor as some people are saying, as much as Spain was dominant, though I do agree that Italy was certainly lacking in certain areas of the pitch. Interesting match. So Italy now most likely just need a draw to come through. Spain, they win the group.